My name is Mark Shimkets. I'm not an expert in anything. I graduated college with a computer science degree. Now I work for a tech company. How I do. So I don't know. I'm interested in nerd stuff. Like, I am interested in nerd stuff. It blows my mind. You see that Jeff Bezos went into space like recently? Yeah. Do you know that you or I could have been on that flight for $28 million? It's crazy. They auctioned off a single seat on that flight. I don't know, it's weird to me that even the richest guy on the planet will hang out with someone he doesn't even like for gas money. And I like all kinds, technology, all those different things. I don't know, I am dumb. Like I grew up with 2 girls and a gay best friend, right? But I only found out my best friend was gay when he was 20. Yeah, so growing up, people are always like, is he gay? I was like, I don't know, we talked about boobs once. He told me he was gay. He's like, hey, by the way, I'm gay. All right, cool. Because nothing changes in our relationship. But a friend I was like, she's like, you gotta ask him something. What do you mean? She's like, it's a big moment. You have to ask him a question. I'm like, okay, you wanna have sex with me? He's like, oh, no. Damn, I thought we were friends. Again, I'm not his type. I got long hair and big tits. As you can see, I'm dumb. But I'm here to talk to you today about 5G and how it's kind of gonna be the birth of the next technology we really see in the world. This is gonna mainly compose of the most important elements I could find that articulate why it matters and how it's gonna go forward. Let's figure out how to go next. Oh, there we go. First off, the question is, what is 5G? 5G is the articulation of the advancement of technology that enables robots, internet, phones, all to talk more quickly and effectively. Oh, there's a, whoa. All right, so right now we see a 5G cellular network. It's kind of the main big attraction of it. You have like, your data rate is significantly higher. You can have 100 megabytes per second. That's a lot of words. It makes your phone go fast. Latency is communication of devices. That's super important for cities in the future. Efficient signaling, a lot of efficiencies, like your phone battery can get significantly extended by the future of 5G, which is weird. Yeah, other stuff. So these are the 5 main components that are enabling 5G to be implemented in the world. First one's millimeter waves. Second one is small cell networks. Third one is massive MIMO. Fourth one is beamforming, and finally we have full duplex. That's a lot. We're getting there. So millimeter waves, this one's cool. So the millimeter wave range is the description of the frequencies that our phone sends out data on. Phones right now only really go from, this way, there we go. Phones right now only really go from 1 to 2 to 6. So everything we've dealt with in our society all fits in that, and we just expanded it to that. Yeah, wow, why didn't we do that before? Okay, thanks for asking. So the reason why is because once you get beyond 6 gigahertz, it doesn't go through walls. So that's why if we were in here and there were no antenna or anything, none of us could use a 5G phone. I know some of you have phones that say 5G. Not true. There are a few. Okay. There are a few 5G cities that are put together to a degree right now to get these high-speed alerts, but you can actually see people are walking when it's raining out and they lose all their speed. So it won't go through pretty much anything effectively. So the way we go around this is this aspect of creating small cell systems. So an entire city can have a series of small cells on them. You can have them on telephone poles, have them within stadiums, have them everywhere. We can see that small cells are popping up in different areas. Like I recently saw this at my brother's place in California in a desert. I'm like, that tree is 30 feet tall and green. That doesn't make sense. So they put these small cells everywhere with the equipment of this massive MIMO technology. So we can see here that The general connected devices in 2016 were about 2 per person. Now they're almost up to 4. And in 2016 to 2022, you went from almost a gigabyte a month per person to up to 10. So we need some kind of way to deal with all this. And this is one of our solutions for it. So multiple input, multiple output is what MIMO stands for. Yeah, so the unique thing about MIMO nodes is that they're full of antennas that can have 64 to 128 activating at the same time. Now, you see large towers, that can get very complicated, so how does this data get, functionally moved around? Oh, cool. So the way that they are able to even do this is this concept called beamforming. The way current phones work is they just send out data in all directions and just like hope for the best. It works pretty well for how crazy that is. But the way it works now with this 5G and beamforming is after the data gets to the tower itself, the tower designates an efficient pathway to bounce off of the objects in the room to get to the user's device so it doesn't cross paths with other data. Crazy. I got a little video to try to demonstrate that because this barely makes any sense. So yeah, in this video, they're describing, they say it's kind of like a traffic light. So this is 3 separate sets of data that are being caught by that light, and that represents a massive MIMO node. Oh, it plays out of here. So as we can see here, this is where all the data is just bouncing around trying to get to the point where it needs to go. Now, this is the representation of the data being sent back to the devices. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's a blue, a green, and a red, and each of the different balls are the color of that specific phone. And you can see them, like the green here, bouncing all efficiently to that cellular device. So that's beamforming. Oh, not that.
Oh!
How do I?
Handle! Have it on tape.
There's a second video. That one had a weird subject line, my man.
That's your emails, Rory. Jesus.
Okay. Hell yeah, we're doing it. All right, there we go. I was about to start telling jokes. That would have been a boring. Cool. Okay. Great.
The system works.
Hey, we're in it. All right, so. The final piece technology is within the nodes themselves that enable multiple data sets to be sent over a single frequency. It's kind of like a quantum computer, another big word that probably only references half the room. But yeah, so this is a good kind of little diagram. It's essentially like if your data from your phone and the data from my phone were trying to go across the same frequency, it can build a little extra track so that it can deal with both of ours at the same time. Before, they really could only use different frequencies or create a queue system, so things would just take significantly longer. Cool, that's 5G, why do we care? I think robots is like the biggest thing. Robots are like the next part of this world. We're gonna try another video, we're gonna see how this goes.
No!
Okay, so this one, in this video, You can see it's about a ball being stabilized by 3 different independent robots. And the video on top is within 5G. Let's finish. And the video on the bottom is in 4G. The 4G representation is about 100 milliseconds of latency. So for an action to take place, takes 100 milliseconds. Isn't that much time to us, but for computers, it's a big deal. In 5G, it lowers it to 1. So all these computers are able to communicate with each other to make it happen in a fourth of the time, pretty much. This is the stuff that will make it so self-driving cars won't wreck into each other or hit pedestrians, unfortunately.
Try hitting back.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
I work in customer support. I'm supposed to be good at that. All right, so, yeah, whoa, yeah, that's where we're going next. Is this actually a problem for humans? Will it kill us? Firm maybe. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. So a group in Israel are running a series of studies looking into this before they implement it. And traditionally, skin is just looked at as a sponge where things will pass through and basically be ignored. But what they found, this is a study, so I'm not too crazy. In this study, they showed that the sweat ducts, the upper of the skin, can be essentially mini antenna that oscillate at about 300 gigahertz, which is right at this top end of 5G. Right now, the plan for 5G is to operate between 0 to 100 for commercial and residential, 100 to 200 for military, things like that, and then 200 to 300 isn't entirely marked out. But as this time goes on, as things get weird, it might get real weird. These are all the sources here, and I'm gonna say thank you for listening to me talk things. Cool.